Hi there. We're back here with another one of my favorite books, which I know I keep saying all of these books are my favorite books, but I really do love Leo Leone, and Frederick is one of my favorite characters. So a little bit about Leo Leone. Did you know that he is an artist? He did do the illustrations for his book, but he was really an artist. He studied art and he liked to do graphic design and architecture and music and all sorts of things. He grew up in a family that really thought that art was great, and that's what he wanted to do. When he didn't start writing children's books until he was about 50 years old. He was actually not living very far from here. He was living right over in Greenwich, Connecticut. And he was entertaining his grandchildren who were visiting him, and they were on the train, and he was trying to keep them busy. So he took a magazine and ripped a little piece and ripped a little piece and came up with a little story to keep them entertained. It was called Little Blue and Little Yellow. You may remember that book where Little Blue and Little Yellow become friends, and when they embrace, they have Little Green. And that was the story that he came up with, and that was his first book. This is one of my favorite characters, Frederick. Let's see what he's all about. All along the meadow where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away, the barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there staring at the meadow, they said, "And now, Frederick?" "I gather colors," answered Frederick simply, "for winter is gray." And once Frederick seemed half asleep. "Are you dreaming, Frederick?" they asked reproachfully. But Frederick said, "Oh no, I'm gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say." The winter days came. When the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they had nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had said about the sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick as he climbed on a big stone. "Now I send you the rays of the sun Do you feel how their golden glow? And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? And how about the colors, Frederick? They asked anxiously. Close your eyes again, Frederick said, and when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. And the words, Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, who scatters the snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer, who paints the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with little cold feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more. When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. But Frederick, they said, you're a poet. Frederick blushed, took a bow, and then said shyly, I know it. He's cute. So I have a little activity for us to do. We are going to make our own Fredericks. So I have a little piece of paper here, and I want you to take a look. Take a look at Frederick and his body. His body is kind of, what shape would you call that? Maybe like an egg shape? So let's draw his body. So you can use a crayon or a marker. I'm just gonna draw an egg shape. That will be Frederick's body. Next, we have his ears. So I'm going to just draw some, they're also kind of an egg shape. They're a little bit smaller though, right? They're smaller. I'm going to cut out his body. Up and down, thumbs up and down, up and down, up and down. Keep going. Use the helping hand to turn the paper so it's easy. That is his body. I'm gonna glue his body down on our paper. So I'm gonna put a little glue on the back. And there we go. Next, his ears. Again, up and down, up and down. Try and stay on the line if you can. There's one ear, and I'm gonna cut out the other ear. Up and down, up and down. There we go. Now I'm going to glue on his ears. So on the back, I'm just going to put a little glue. There's one ear, and a little glue. There's his other ear. So now, let's take a look. I'm gonna give him some eyes. So I'm gonna use my black marker. So I'm gonna do a circle, kind of a circle, 2 circles. He has 2 lines, and then I'll give him his eyes. So there are his eyes. Let me make those a little rounder. There we go. Oh. Frederick has a little nose. And I'm gonna give him a little half smile, just like he has there on the book. A little smile. And I'm gonna give him a tail. There's his tail. If you want, you could cut it out of the paper. And even if you wanted, you can give him a little poppy flower, just like they have there. So I'll do that. I have a green marker and a little red flower up at the top with a little black dot in the middle. And there is my Frederick. I just think he's very cute. Maybe you do too. Okay, so I have another little project we're gonna do. We're gonna make a mouse out of origami. So I have this piece of paper. It was kind of a scrap. And I am going to fold it. And I folded the edge up and cut off the rest so that I have a square. I'm gonna trim that up just a little bit. Okay, now I have a square. So we're gonna start. So I'm gonna fold it in half one time, make that crease. Then I'm going to fold it the other way, match up the corners as best as I can. And crease it. Now we have a triangle with this line in the middle. So we're going to take the flat edge and we're gonna fold it up. Not quite to the middle. So I gave it some, here would be the middle crease right there, that middle line, and I just folded it up a little bit. Next, I'm going to fold this to that middle crease. So I folded this piece to that middle crease, where that middle crease was. Now I'm going to flip it over and just fold the bottom. So just, sorry, there's a glare here. Just like that. So I took it and I turned it over and folded it there to where that crease was. Now, all you need is a little pen and we're gonna make our mouse face. So right at the tip, I'm gonna put a little line like that and I'll color it in a little bit. And then I'm gonna give, that's gonna be the nose. Next, I'll give it a little bit of, I'm gonna give him some whiskers. There you go. And I'm gonna give my little mouse a little eye. My mouse has an eye, kind of like our friend Frederick. And that is your origami mouse. I made one earlier today. It was a little mouse out of some paper I had. So we have mommy mouse and maybe a little baby mouse too. In Frederick's family, there were 5 mice. So I hope you have fun and enjoy making your Frederick and your mice. And we'll see you soon.